we've been to 7 villages, 7 small towns. We have donated 250 food for 250 families today, and that's enough food for them to at least to eat for about a week. Which for me is extremely important, being a personal donation from myself. We have also distributed today 8,000 masks to our people here in Lari. And if really we are going to beat this COVID, we have to get our people to put on the masks. And that's why I took the initiative of getting the 8,000 masks to share with the people of Raleigh. Because when you go to these small towns where the economies have really stagnated, some of it almost collapsing, especially with the farming communities that we are, with the supply chain of food now being affected the way it is, they do need help. I'm glad I was able to touch 250 families today. The other thing that we did also differently, instead of going to the big wholesalers and to the manufacturers and to the millers, all this food that we have given today were bought at the small mom and pop shops across 7 towns in this ward, in this sub-county of Raleigh. So by doing so, the money that I spent today will go in the hands of all the people from these communities, such that if I go and spend 10,000 with one vendor, then another one in a small kiosk, and another one in a small kiosk, that money goes much further than if that money was actually spent with a big wholesaler somewhere. So we are encouraging people, people like myself and others who have the ability to come and help, including organizations also. If you're in a position to help, and to go to these communities and do, whether you do masks or you do food or whatever it is that you're doing to do to help these communities during this hard time. We want to make sure that the money that we spend goes to the local communities, and that money has a long way to go. Actually, it goes deeper. When you spend that money in the local communities, you support the small businesses, you support the micro businesses that are in the villages. And for me, that's extremely important. So for me today, I achieved, I think, 3 goals. One, I fed 250 families. Also, 8,000 people have masks that they didn't have. And also, in excess of 60 small businesses that are in these small towns were able to benefit from the donation that I made today with buying all this food from them. This is my hometown. We were in Getithia, we were in Kirenga, we were in Escarpment, we are in Kimende, we were in Kamba, we are in Githirioni, we were in Lari, we were also in there's another small town called Nyambari. So all those towns, that's 8 towns that we went to and bought this food. And every shop in those small towns, we went and bought something. Okay. That means we left some money in those small towns. I will spend well over 500,000 shillings. And this is money from my own pocket that I am donating to my communities. God has blessed me, and I have no reason not to spread that blessing that God has given me to the people who need me, and especially those in my local community. I grew up in this community, I matured in this community, my family is in this community, and therefore, by me coming to spend, even if it's 500,000 or even more, with helping the poor in my community, is a blessing for me.
Okay, and you worked closely with who? Tell us, with the chiefs, the local, whatever, to make it happen.
Yeah, and for me to be able to achieve what we have achieved today, we had to involve the local administration. We involved the local community leaders like Mr. Wanjema, who is the chairman of the Parents Association. We involved other community leaders. We involved the DC. We involved the chiefs, the sub-chiefs. Even this location where we are, the chief is here, the sub-chief is here. And so by involving the local community, they are also able to help us to identify the most needy of the families in their jurisdiction. But because I don't know, so I have to depend on them to be able to give me that list, and they'll go to the community and they identify this one needs help, this one needs help, this one needs help, and then my job is easier.
I limited.
In terms of being COVID compliant, when you have these groups of individuals, the first thing that I did and I told the chiefs and the local communities is when you choose the families that are going to come to receive the food, is to make sure they keep their 6 feet distance. They all sit in 6 feet apart, and you can see all of them were seated about 6 feet apart, and they understand. And then when we go to give the masks, we also, sometimes people tend to have that rush, they want to get it, and we just tell them, just make sure you are 6, this is the thing I tell them, spread your hands this way and this way. If you are touching somebody, then somebody is in your space. And some people, our people are visual. So when you tell them to do that, they realize, okay, you need to be over there, over there. So we make sure that we keep the 6 feet distance. That way they are compliant, and especially if they don't have masks. And then after that, we just make sure everybody gets masks. So we have to say thank you to the chiefs of all these localities for making sure that the people are organized, there is no stampede, and everybody is keeping the social distance. Mimi nimezaliwa hapa Rally, nimelelewa hapa, na familia yetu iko hapa Rally. So wakati tulifikiria vile tunaweza saidia watu wetu, tukaona ni chakula na mask. Sa leo tumepeana chakula kwa familia 250, tumepeana mask 8,000, na hizo mask zitasaidia watu because of COVID. Na ukienda kwa kijiji, saa zingine hawa watu wanakaa tu hivyo, hawana access ya mask, so lazima tungangane kidogo, wenye wana uwezo tukunje nyumbani tusaidie watu wetu. Na hata vile tulifanya jana, tulikuja hapa for the whole day, tukafanya shopping, hawa watu wote, these 250 families, tukafanya shopping. Na shopping tulifanya tule tuduka tudogo, kwa sababu hiyo pesa tunatumia hapa inaenda mbali sana. Kama tungekuwa hii pesa tunachukua tunaenda kwa the big wholesalers, ama tunapeleka kwa those people who do the meals, communities hawezi kuifeel. Kwa sababu na sasa vile tumekuja hapa, community wana feel hii pesa iko mzuri. Pesa iko kwa ile mama mboga, mama nduka, tule tudoro. Ile kadogo economy ndio iko hapa vijijini, na ndio tunasaidia. So tunasema ile chakula tunanunua yote from the kadogo economy in the vijijis. Wenye watu wanasaidika ni watu wenye vijiji. So the money stays at home, the food inaishi home. Then mask, kila mtu sasa ameenda home na mask, 8,000. For me, that's the only way naweza ku give back to my community. Vile tulifanya about 2 weeks kabla tujakuja, tuliongea na machief, na DC, na subchief, na community leaders wa hii area yote. Kwa leo tumekuwa vijiji kama 7, na hatujaona watu wakikimbia, watu wakistorm, kwa sababu chief na community leaders wameidentify watu wako wenye needy kwa kila sublocation. Na kutoka hapo wanakuja, tunawapanga, kila mtu anakaa chini, anakaa 6 feet from the other person. Sasa watu wakifanya hivyo, na chief akiwa involved, ile maneno ya stampede kuna, so lazima tupange before tukuje tupeane either chakula ama masks. Kwa mfuko tulikuwa na kilo 6 za, kila family inapata kilo 6 za unga wa ugali, kuna kilo 2 ya mchele na lita 1 ya mafuta. Kwa sababu watu hapa wanalima vegetables sana. So wakiwa na unga ya ugali, si wanafanya ugali for about a week or a week and a half. Na mchele the same thing. So hiyo it will take them a week or maybe a week and a half if they are only just 2 people. Na watasaidika. If other people wanaweza kufanya the same, then these poor people can be helped in many different ways.
My name is Mwenja. I am a resident of Lali, and I represent the parents of all Kiambu County in the Parents Association. And today is a great day for the resident of Lali, for one of our person who is Professor Mwenja, who has shown our gesture and come to remember our people here in Lali. In this COVID-19 time, many of our people who are vulnerable and they need something to eat. And I like to thank our professor. When I called him, he responded very quickly. And he says he is going to come to Lali and to help the people where he come from. As a CEO of MATA, I thank him so much for this gesture that he has shown.
Who was involved? Who made it happen?
Yeah,
Chiefs, the what?
yeah, I made it happen when I talked with the professor, and he told me just to plan. And I contacted the DCC of Lali, and then I contacted all the chiefs of every location. And because the professor told me, let us look for a good number, whether, well, most of the people, they are going to benefit. And in this time, today, more than 250 families in one ward are going to benefit in this food. We are giving 6 kgs of ugali flour. We are giving 2 kgs of rice, and we are giving a liter of a cooking fat. And these are, I know most of the family, they can go for almost 1 week. Yeah. So we thank even our administration, even for planning for this day and planning for the place that we are going to meet. Yeah, majina yangu naitwa Samuel Wajema, mimi nasimamia wazazi katika Kabu County na mimi ni mwenyeji wa Lali. Siku hii ya leo tuko na furaha sana kwa maana mmoja wetu wakati niliongea na wao kutoka Lali na ndiye Profesa Mwenja, wakati nilimwambia mambo ile watu wetu wanapitia, alichukua hii mambo kwa njia maana sana. Na kaniambia tupange na yeye atatoa mali yake na ikuje alisha watu wetu. Kitu ile kwanza tulifanya, tulikaa chini na machief, tuka-identify ni watu wangapi ambao wanahitajika hapa. Na sasa tunaita, nikawaambia wachief waite watu wale wako na mahitaji nyingi sana katika nyumba zao, wale hawana chakula. Na sasa nikawaambia hao watu ndio tunataka wae siku hiyo. Na sasa ndio unaona sasa kumekaa vizuri sana na watu wame-organize vizuri sana. Na sasa ndio tunaona hata watu hakuna msukumano hata mdogo. Hata naweza omba, hata serikali wakati inapatiana chakula, yaweza tumia njia ile inatakiwa ni mzuri. Kwa maana we have to identify the people who are going to benefit. Na ili uki-identify watu wale wana benefit, unawaita. Wakati huo kutakuwa na msongamano. Na tunasaidiana na the local administration kupanga hao.